For anybody that wants these slides, we will have them ready for you. We can send an email out to you with the slides in both official languages. Again, I want to thank everybody for listening to our presentation, and I'll pass it back to Abid.
Thank you so
But
much,
let's begin
Sophia and
with the agenda.
Jeff.
So I just
This was
wanted
a
to
great
begin with a few
overview of the work
acknowledgements. Lots
that's
of
already
work went
been done
into
and what's coming up.
organizing this forum. So special thanks to the city team led by Sausan Rifai and Cynthia Page, who worked closely with the United for All team, particularly the rapid response team, which is comprised of
Amira Al-Ghawabi, Ian Benjamin, Sophia Jacob, Jean-Francois Reteli, Julie McKercher, Stéphane Prissault, and Hamid Musa.
And also wanted to thank the presenters for giving their time to us, and also our leaders, including Mayor Jim Watson, Chief Peter Slowly, and also Michael Allen, the CEO and President of United Way. A few housekeeping things besides those technical aspects. Just keep your mics mute, and we won't have much time in the beginning of the forum because we are going to have a few presentations just to set the context. And after that, we'll have about 45 minutes where you'd be able to share your comments, questions, and ideas. So if you have any question, if you have any comments, then what I would suggest you to do is to connect with our co-hosts, put your name in line so that when we get to that particular session, you have the chance to give us your feedback, your questions, and ideas. However, given the time and given the number of participants, we have more than 300 people on the line. So what I would recommend is that please use the chat room, leave us your comments, leave us your thoughts, leave us your ideas so that we could make them part of our final report. So with that, and setting the context before going to our keynote, which is Hindiya Muhammad, what I would do is I'll begin with a bit of introduction, high-level overview of the United for All, which is critical, and that's critical in the sense that in Ottawa, what I personally thought was we had three elements or entities needed, right? So we have two in place already. The third one just came on board. So the two entities, one were United for All, which is playing that convening in community engagement and the prevention role in this sphere. And then the city of Ottawa was taking, the OPS was taking the lead on the intervention, law enforcement side of things, being an interface with the RCMP and CSS and others. City was very actively involved right from the get-go. The mayor's office, also Donna Gray's team was very actively involved, but they were lacking an instrument to start working with the other two entities, United for All and the OPS work that we're doing collectively. So now they have the Anti-Racism Secretariat, and Ralston King is with us. So he'll speak after our keynote and introduce the new staff as well. So I'll begin with the quick high-level overview of the United for All so that you have an idea, particularly around the roles and responsibilities of different entities. So this is where I'm, okay. So yeah, good. So next slide, yeah. So in terms of the United for All, just a quick background, high-level overview. In late 2016, concern for the rising tide of populist sentiment during the US election and some local incident of hate graffiti on several places of worship prompted a number of community leaders to convene, and this included the then MPP Yasser Naqvi, DG Stringer from Mayor Watson's office, the then Chief of Police Chuck Bordlow, Michael Allen from United Way, and Mark Sutcliffe. Those were the folks. I believe Alex Munter was also involved from CHIO. So those were the initial conversation, and during those meetings, it was acknowledged that
several grassroots responses were already happening. However, there was no alliance, there was no coalition or a collective as such that could provide cross-sector opportunity for cross-sector collaboration to address a common goal, common agenda. So this led to questions such as, did we need to create or nurture a common entity that celebrates, promotes pro-social behavior, diversity, and inclusion across the board, and also set themes and issues? And it was also concluded that there was a community level gap for positively, proactively intervening to address the root causes of racism, xenophobia, extremism, up to and including gang violence and hate crimes. So there was an expressed intent to be better prepared to respond to coordinated community leadership. So this the leadership also shared an ambition to collectively determine what success might look like and to know whether we were making progress or not. So from these early discussions, United Way took the lead to convene a cross-sector collaboration. It took us a while. We conducted a mapping exercise to identify common issues. We organized several conversations to identify gaps in the way of collective response and looking into factors to focus on addressing a continuum of issues from ignorance and lack of awareness to continuation of systemic racism, intolerance, hate, and violence. So since then, what you're seeing on the screen, we have a coalition in place that's comprised of 44 different stakeholders, networks, and coalitions. And as a whole, they represent more than 150 organizations, and a table of champions where we have the mayor, we have the chief of police, Yasser Naqvi, Alex Munter, Anthony Bailey, Rabbi Bulka, and other leaders, including other elected officials. Ralston King and Jenna Says also sit there. So the most importantly, there has been an evolution of leadership and partnership between United Way and Adwa Police on the prevention and intervention side of things, as these are the two key strategies. And with the addition of the Anti-Racism Secretariat now, I believe that the missing link of this triangle for mainstreaming hate and violence prevention has fallen into place. So this was the overall context for the about the United for All. So, and this would provide us a bit of context of where we are at the moment. So we are currently working on an action plan, which we were planning to bring to the community on March the 25th. But then due to the COVID crisis and all those restrictions, we couldn't organize that particular forum for the community leaders to give us feedback on the action plan. But meanwhile, things are evolving. We are refining the action plan, and this forum is going to provide another opportunity to get some new ideas, new thoughts, and make them part of the action plan. So this was the United for All context. So let's move on to our keynote address by